3:17 a.m. every night. I still see flashbacks anytime I close my eyes to sleep. I worked the night shift at a 24/7 fast food restaurant for almost 8 months. Graveyard shift, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Most nights were boring. Drunk customers, truck drivers, the occasional group of teenagers trying to act tough. But every single night, at exactly 3:17 a.m., the same man came in, and he never ordered food. I was 19 when I got the job, needed money for community college. The restaurant was just off a highway exit, not busy at night. After 1 a.m., it was basically dead. Staff during night shift: me, cash register; Louis, cook; Sandra, manager until 2 a.m., one janitor who left at midnight. After 2 a.m., it was just me and Louis, and sometimes not even Louis because he'd take smoke breaks outside. That's when it started. It was a Tuesday night, dead quiet, no cars in the parking lot. The clock on the wall changed from 3:16 to 3:17. The front door chimed, that soft electronic ding. I looked up, expecting a truck driver. It was a man, mid-40s, pale, very thin, wearing a dark jacket, no hat, no expression. He just stood there, not walking to the counter, just inside the door, staring. I gave the usual line, "Hey, welcome in." He didn't respond, didn't blink. After about 10 seconds, he slowly walked to the counter, but he didn't look at the menu. He looked at me and said, "Is it fresh?" I laughed awkwardly. Yeah, we just made everything." He didn't smile, didn't react, just said, "I'll wait." And then he walked to a booth and sat down, without ordering. Louis asked, "He order?" I said no. Louis shrugged. Weird. The man sat there for 20 minutes, not on his phone, not eating, just staring at the counter, at me. At exactly 3:37 a.m., he stood up, walked to the door, stopped, turned his head slightly toward me, and left. No car started outside, no headlights, nothing. I checked the window. The parking lot was empty. The next night, 3:17 a.m., door chime, same man, same clothes, same blank expression. This time, I felt uneasy. He walked up immediately. "Is it fresh?" Same tone, same words. I said yes. He said, "I'll wait," and sat down. This time, I noticed something. He never looked at the food area, never looked at the kitchen. He only looked at me, not blinking much, just watching. At 3:37 a.m., he left again. No car, no engine sound, nothing. I told Sandra the next day. She laughed. Probably homeless, but he wasn't dirty. He wasn't carrying bags. His clothes were clean. Louis joked, "Maybe he's in love with you." I didn't laugh, because something felt off. His eyes, they weren't curious. They weren't hungry. They were measuring. Night 4, 3:17 a.m. He comes in, but this time he walks straight to the counter, leans in slightly, and says, "You close at 7. Not a question, a statement. I nod. He says, "Just you two?" My stomach drops. I lie. "No, manager's in the back." He stares at me for 5 full seconds, then says, "I'll wait." Sits down. This time I noticed something else. He never casts a reflection in the window behind him. The glass shows the booths, the plants, the lights, but not him. I blink, look again, Still nothing. For 2 weeks, every night, 3:17 sharp. Never early, never late. Always, is it fresh? I'll wait. Leave at 3:37. 20 minutes, exactly. One night, I checked the security cameras. At 3:17 a.m., the door opens, but no one is there. The door opens by itself, then closes. But on the live view, I see him sitting in the booth. My chest tightens. The security footage doesn't show him, but I see him with my eyes. I decided to call in sick. I couldn't handle it, but we were short-staffed. Manager begged me to come in. That night, Lewis didn't show up. It was just me, alone. 3:16 a.m. My heart is pounding. 3:17 a.m. Door chime. He walks in. This time, he looks different, paler, eyes darker. He walks to the counter, doesn't speak, just stares. I whisper, "What do you want?" He tilts his head slightly and says, "You weren't here last night." My blood runs cold. I never missed. He leans closer, voice barely above a whisper. "I came anyway." The lights flicker. He says, "Do you know what happened here?" I shake my head. He smiles for the first time, a thin, stretched smile. 20 years ago, 3:17 a.m., 2 employees locked the doors early. They thought no one would notice. They were alone. My hands are shaking. He continues, "They didn't see me outside. You're alone tonight." He glances toward the kitchen and says, "It's fresh." The lights go out, pitch black. I hear footsteps, not walking, dragging, slow, closer. I crawl behind the counter, cover my mouth. The emergency lights flicker on. He's standing in the middle of the restaurant, but his body isn't fully there. Parts of him look burned, skin peeling, like fire damage. He points toward the door and whispers, "Run." I don't remember getting home. Police found the restaurant's electrical system fried that morning. Security footage from 3:17 a.m. corrupted, only static. The building burned down 2 months later. Electrical fire. They say it started near the booths at exactly 3:17 a.m. I drive past the empty lot sometimes, and once in a while, at 3:17 a.m., I see the door open. I never work night shifts anymore, and if you ever walk into a place at 3:17 a.m. and someone asks you, "Is it fresh?" don't wait. Leave immediately.